Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special treat for our meal prep. There goes the microwave. For our meal prep video today, my dad has agreed to help out.
Hi everybody, good to be with you.
We're gonna make some of his recipes. We're gonna make 5 recipes today and they're all like fall, winter, really good things. Now you know a lot of times when I cook, I just dump things in and go.
No.
He doesn't cook that way.
No.
He took up cooking later in his years as a young man, but a little later. It's become a hobby.
She doesn't want to say I'm old. She's being nice.
And it's become a hobby for him. He loves to cook and he loves to cook things that taste very good. So
yes,
we're gonna do things that are a little different than what I normally do. Of course, we're making them large family style, but I'll write them all out in the description box so you can go check there if you missed something along the way. These are gonna be good. So we're making 4 soups and 1 casserole.
Yeah, and what we're doing, every one of these are really like fall type of deals. So, I mean, we're using some fresh squash out of the garden. We've got some beautiful apples here, some Honeycrisp and different things like that, and give it that fall flavor, fall smell. I love that smell in the house. And since I live in Florida, we really don't have fall, so I came up here to enjoy fall for a few days.
He came up here to enjoy fall and he's getting winter instead.
Yeah,
so.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot.
We're starting out with a harvest
squash
kind of soup.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've got the ingredients for different ones set all around the kitchen. We are like highly organized today. And we're gonna try to do this a little more professional than I normally do.
It's a little hard doing it, doubling it because of the big family, but you just sort of, for the most part, double everything and you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I keep waving this thing.
Put the knife down. It's gonna be large family style. Actually, in the description box, I think I will put the recipes about half of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think most people would want to try the half.
What I'm doing is I'm cutting up. The regular recipe calls for about 2 pounds of squash. And I've done this with the butternut squash, which is wonderful, but then I split half and half butternut, and then I'll do something else. And the other day I did this same recipe in Florida, and I used a butter cup. And that's got a little bit different skin and a little bit different texture inside. And the combination of the two in this soup were wonderful. But you want to take whatever squash you're using and cut them to about 1 inch or so, because they're all going to get pulverized once they get cooked and softened. Get about 2 pounds per recipe. Well, I'm doing almost 4 pounds of it here right now, but there's another squash out too that's called, how do they call it?
Acorn?
Kabacha, I think it is, and that's got a bit of a different skin too, and that's got a beautiful flavor as well. You're not going to go wrong. It's all harvesty and it's all fall type of flavors. The part that I like with these things is the smell that fills your kitchen when you cook this kind of stuff is just outstanding, because it smells like fall. It smells like, you know, leaves are coming down off the tree kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing that the recipe calls for is about 1.5 cups of nice apple. I don't peel it. I just cut it like this and put it into some little squares, because it's going to cook down and it's going to give a beautiful harvest flavor as well. I'm using today Honeycrisp apples, and I'm going to do about 3 of them like this. And actually, it sweetens the soup up a little bit, and you'll honestly know the difference when you taste this like this. And I also put in about an onion, a good nice little white onion here, and it's gonna just add that savory part of that flavor to the soup. What I am gonna do is, before I leave town, is sharpen Sarah's knives for her. By the way, this soup is traditional Kenyan type soup. I'm more versed in Kenyan food than Solo.
He's not listening. He's watching the football game. Solo, we're making Kenyan food over here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's better than kusumi wiki or whatever that is. And you need about 1 cup of onion. So that's really what we're doing here, getting the cup ready. Let's get this ready. Just pour it apart here a little. There we go.
Dad's actually been to Kenya many times. Do you like the food there?
I love the food there. First time I ever had goat was in Kenya. And I love good cooked goat meat with a chapati. Is that what they call them? What do they call them things?
Chapati?
Chapati. What did I call it? Chapati. I'm probably more African than most Africans.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that got a rise. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about, I'd put about a half a stick of butter in here. You can always put more, everything tastes better with more butter. Maybe 2 tablespoons if you're doing a single recipe. And get that all melted in a big Dutch oven or something like this. That's going to take all this stuff plus the water needed, or the stock and water needed to cover as we cook it. And once this is melted down, and I'm not used totally to your stove, but once this is melted down, we're going to saute the onions and get them a little translucent. And they'll do their own sweating, and a little bit of water will run off as well. Once that's done, immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting in the spices that help add to this soup.
Nice.
Salt. We're going to use some cinnamon today. We're going to use a little nutmeg. We're going to use even a little curry powder, and it'll really, and some pepper, and so it'll really spice up. And what you want to do that for is in those onions, and with this hot pot right now, you really want to put those spices in, because once they are put in, it's almost like the spices, the flavor, anytime you add it in that kind of environment of a saute, they explode. They really blossom out, I think is how Ina Garten says it. Moving along and getting it sweated out and getting it to the place where it's going to get translucent. What I've done is I've put together some cinnamon, some curry, we'll put some salt in here, and some nutmeg. And by the way, watch that you don't do too much nutmeg. It can get real bitter if you overdo it. It's a beautiful flavor. And then you can see everything sweated down, and I just put that in, sprinkle it around there, and I let that get it all churned in there and churned in there. Oh, well, thank you. I was having to use primitive objects. You know. I like to get it all sort of, as again, like Ina said, blossomed.
Did Ina teach you how to cook?
You know, I follow her the most. I really like that gal. She's fun, and she's fun to watch. I buy several. I haven't bought all of her books. Some people are crazy, but I do buy a couple, 3 of her books, and I love her recipes. And the reason I do, hi, I see you, hi. The reason I use her is because I like her philosophy. Always use fresh ingredients and go for flavor. I don't know how Sarah cooks in this noisy house. We're gonna put these in here, and these are gonna cook down here in a second. Wow. Boy, we barely got the big pot going here. Man, I don't know how you keep up with it, Sarah, with the whole children.
Are they going to be able to cook like that, or are they cooking the juice?
They're going to cook in the juice. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding some chicken stock. You want this to cover, but I put in about 12 cups of this. And so, what are there? 4 here, 4 in each one of these, 4 cups in one of these boxes. So we're going to do about 3 boxes of this. And really, all I'm looking for is getting this covered, all my vegetables here.
You may not need all of that, huh?
You may or may not, yeah, but we're going to see. And honestly, it gives you a lot of soup. And it's going to cook. And then once everything is real soft, and I don't know how long it'll take, we'll just keep testing it. Then I'm going to take it and use one of those, what do they call those things?
Immersion
blenders. And we're going to get this thing creamy and good. And then we're going to add, even to make it more creamy and more good, we're going to add some heavy cream. You can also add coconut milk. Now that's what I did the last time. My wife loves almond milk. It's whatever kind of flavor you want to give it. The coconut milk is just to die for. It's very, very nice, and you throw that in there. So if we'll figure out what we're going to do here in a little bit once this cooks up a little. I'm going to let it come up to boil just a little bit, and then we're going to turn it down, put the lid sort of on it and maybe a little bit off just to let the steam go off. And then we're going to just let it simmer here, and we're going to get on to another recipe.
Okay, we'll come back to that later.
All right.
Next up, we're starting a cauliflower.
You know what? Cauliflower casserole is the only way I know how to say it, but I made it the other night before we came up to Lincoln. It was fantastic. Oh my goodness. And if you're doing with us, Susan and I have been doing a lot of keto where we're not doing any carbs or whatever. And cauliflower is a great substitute for potatoes and all that. You know that probably most of you do. This recipe was just like over the top. Typically you would do about 2 heads of cauliflower and get them, the florets all ready and everything like that. So I'm doing double. I'm doing 4 heads because of her family. But
he told me that he found this recipe on the Food Network, so we'll
go.
find it and link that recipe
yeah,
down
we'll
below.
link
So this
it
one
up.
isn't his
You'll
own.
love it. No, it's not mine.
It's gonna be good.
Oh my.
In fact, we figured out too, this one's a good keto one, but we figured out that this harvest squash soup, if you use vegetable stock instead of chicken, the way we're gonna do it, it would be vegan too. So Dad, could you imagine meal prepping? Like doing it all at once for your week like this?
Oh no. Oh no. No. That takes the creative juices out of me totally.
Hey, we're doing it right now.
No,
Creative juices are flowing.
Because I may wear a different color socks tomorrow, and I maybe plan for black, but I want brown. No.
Hey, this is coming from someone who has plenty of time to cook.
Yes, but
Every
I
night.
may even before dinner that night, I go to the store and pick something out and decide, let's do this or do that. I have to have my creativity with this thing.
So you shop every day, cook every day.
I used to, not as bad anymore, but I'll plan several meals, but I don't plan them on any certain day of the week or anything like that. I just say, you know what? I think this week we'll do some fish, and then I'll do that, and I'm going to do a chicken recipe or blah, blah, blah. I recently bought at Sam's, I'm going to plug, and maybe they'll send me money.
Good luck.
I bought a beautiful little freezer for in my laundry room. It's just one of these narrow ones and about that tall off the floor.
Oh.
And
this tall, like up here?
yeah, about like that maybe.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just all freezer with about 5 or 6 shelves in it. And I then buy now, which I really like, I buy my meat when it's on sale ahead of time, different, steaks or whatever.
Yeah.
I keep those meats there. And then so I can go in the night before, or the early when I get up, and I'm getting up, and I get up usually before Susan. And I, of course, get my coffee going and everything like that. And,
you get up before her?
Oh, all the time.
Oh,
Don't tell her.
what is she gonna say?
Don't tell her I said that. Hey, I'm somewhat semi-retired, so just leave me alone. And then I'll think about what I want to do that night, what I'm hungry for. If it was up to Susan, I will say this: she would have. Is this one? Am I only on the first one?
Yeah, you're only on the first one.
Lord, help me. If it was up to Susan, she would only have chicken every night because she likes chicken. I'll do it, but I like salmon. I have to admit,
Michael will
I'm
help you.
sorry for those of you that are vegan and vegans and Vegas and everything else. I really do love my red meat. Let me see, is there any blood? Nope, there's no blood, you're fine. Go back out and play. Goodbye. So this is boiling, so now we bring this down to a simmer. And we're gonna let that cook about 40 to maybe 50 minutes. I take it, put the lid on, just let it a little bit steam come up. The way you check this stuff is just get a knife and poke one of the big pieces and see if it's soft. And
do you want the top off a little?
Yeah, just like that. Get the steam off a little bit. I don't want it building up and then overflowing and making a mess out of your kitchen.
Well, that wouldn't be new.
No, it wouldn't be hot.
We chopped up cauliflower heads and filled 2 casserole dishes.
Yeah.
We used 3, but they were huge.
Oh, they're huge heads. And the recipe calls for 2 heads of the florets.
For each one.
Yeah, for each one. But there's no way. You want this like this. And then Sarah, before I got here, cooked up a bunch of bacon. And you're really going to do about 5-6 slices per casserole dish. And we're doubling the recipe. And then what you do is with the bacon grease, you take the bacon grease, and Micah's got it ready for me here. Come over here, Michael, with the bacon grease. Set it right down here. And this is my helper. Hot. Well, why you don't? You got to use things to help you there, buddy. All right. And what you do is you take about, we're going to need more bacon grease, but you take it and splatter it around. Everything goes better with bacon.
Okay.
Butter and bacon, obviously. So I'm doing about 3 tablespoons in each one of these, well, 4 for the one for the road. And then you're going to salt and pepper this, and then you're going to put this in the oven at 425 for about, just like this, 30 minutes, I think. And I'll show you what happens after that, but this is what you want to do. And by the way, once you get all this in here, a little bit more for this, make sure we mark this, Micah, as mine.
And mine.
And yours, yeah. And in fact, let me do this. Is this hot? It's a little here. I got this. Never mind, man. I've got this. We're going to put some in here like this. And what I do is once I get that all in there, and it gives it a little bit of flavor, and it also gives it a little bit of oil, I put some salt in, and give me some pepper, Micah, if you could.
Okay.
And, oh, he's so good. I wish Susan behaved like that.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, anything you want. I love it. Are we up to 425?
Not
quite
Not
yet.
yet. What's wrong with your stove? So that's really what you do in the prep time, and all you do, like I said, is you're going to put it in there until they begin to brown, and that should take about 30 minutes. But in the meantime, we're going to make a little addition that goes on top of them once they're cooked, and then we'll put it back in again and let that all melt. And I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to take 1 stick, I think it's 1 stick.
I think it was
block.
6 ounces
6
for
ounces.
one.
Oh yeah. So 6 ounces for one. So I'm going to do here about 1.5 of these, and we're going to put them in a bowl, and we're going to mix them up with some cheddar cheese, and I'll show you how we do
Will
this.
it hurt to have extra cream cheese?
No, it doesn't hurt to have extra
we
cream
could just
cheese.
we could just double it.
You know,
like, or
actually,
do
we
two,
surely
two
could.
blocks.
2 blocks, what the world. We had our cream cheese out and it's soft now. So I'm going to dump, according to Sarah's recipe, I'm going
Extra
to dump
cheese never
the
hurts.
extra little bit of cream cheese in the bowl too. And we'll add a little bit extra cheddar cheese too. And I'll show you what we're going to do there. And it just makes it more gooey and more fun. This is all, it's on every diet, this particular dish. Keto, vegan, it's everybody's.
You're eating low fat.
It's
probably
all
not.
low fat. It's carb, high carbs, it's everything.
It's not vegan. Definitely not vegan.
Oh, it isn't?
No. What do you
I
think cheese
everything's
is?
vegan, isn't it? There's no meat here, isn't that vegan?
It's vegetarian.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's not. We got bacon to put on the end. Definitely not vegetarian.
No, wait a second. No, folks, listen, I know some of you are very much into vegan, but bacon is not included, or in other words, it's excluded from your vegan restrictions, because
You just want me to get mean comments.
you can't live life without some bacon. I don't, honestly, I'm a pastor and I think I can prove it in the Word of God, but I don't even think Jesus didn't put a little bit of bacon bits on his salad.
Don't listen to anything he says. Just watch him cook. Why do you want me to get in trouble with all the people?
You know what I use for my underarm deodorant? Bacon smelling underarm.
They're used to their papa being a nut job.
Have you ever had bacon ice cream? Oh my goodness.
They're speechless.
I've had hot fudge, but not bacon.
Fantastic.
This is a bacon milkshake.
Bacon, oh, glory. Bacon milkshake.
Chocolate covered bacon.
Oh, yes.
What are you doing?
And then not only that, but look at, you can even get bacon syrup and bacon jelly. Pour it over your ice cream. Oh my goodness, what a treat. What a treat. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Dairy Queen hasn't figured it out yet. So, in addition to the 2 blocks of cream cheese that we have, we're going to add, and she gave me this bag of pre-chopped, I don't know what it is, but they say it's cheddar on front end
It's a
here.
cheddar mix.
Cheddar mix. We're gonna add 2 cups. The recipe only calls for 1, but because we're doubling the recipe, we're putting 2 cups in. And we're gonna mix this all together. Now, I can tell you the thing that I told you earlier about Ina Garten. She would not approve of this. You get your block of sharp cheddar.
That's right.
From some Wisconsin dairy farm.
Tells me too.
And then you let that thing get a little soft and you put it in your food processor and chop it down. So now we just mix this all up and get it all going together.
I should have softened that cream cheese
A little
better.
bit better, yeah. But we're gonna make it work.
What are you guys making?
It's a cauliflower casserole. Doesn't that sound amazing?
Yeah.
You're a
We're
good actor,
making
Luca.
something that if you'll learn the recipe, you will impress your future wife.
Oh, there you go.
Do we know her name yet?
No.
Okay.
Quickest way to get him to clear the room.
Mhm.
Start talking about girlfriends. There he goes.
Hi, so I'm back now, and what we've done is we've cooked this about 30-35 minutes at a simmer on the stove top. I checked it with a sharp knife, and everything's very soft, and all the squash is cooked. And you can see now how it's all turned darker, and it's a beautiful shade. But watch when I put the immersion blender in. I always love doing this part. And
So fun.
see what happens when we start to
These things
break
are the
this
best
down.
ever. These immersion
Oh
blenders.
my gosh.
I'll link them. I just got this off Amazon because my other one we used it.
I know some of you are waiting for me to lift this with the power still on and watch it splatter all over me and Micah, but you're not going to get that happening. Micah, back off. What you want to do, I've got some spoons out here. I have some spoons out here.
Oh, I put them all away. What'd you get them out for?
Because it's for testing.
Oh man, I had no idea.
Some spoons
I thought
available.
Hope got them out.
Always have some spoons available to test. So look at it's beautiful consistency. I'm really pleased with that. Now I want to see if the salt and also the other spices, cinnamon, curry, you don't want to overbear anything, but you want to make sure it's got a nice little touch to it. Oh man,
What?
is that ever good?
If he does say so himself.
Yeah.
Poor Nessa, we're torturing her today.
That is good.
She's waiting for her taste.
Now, like I said earlier, you could put heavy cream in, and it's delicious. My wife really enjoys this with coconut milk. And so I opened the can of coconut milk in this little bowl here, glass bowl, and stirred it just to get the lumps out because I don't want to have to be looking for them.
Is that 1 can or 2?
That's 1 can. And that's about all you're going to need for this. I would put in a half a can in the normal and just stir that in and let all that goodness come through and go through and ooh, it's so good. And that's how we're going to do that. You can put that over
Even
the
Hope
sink.
walked in and said, "It smells good in
Yeah.
here."
Now, what I do, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to lay, oh, thank you. Look at this. He's figured it out. What I'm going to do is for you, I'm going to ladle some of this up. What did I do with my ladle?
I don't know,
Here
I
it is,
gave it
right
to you.
here. And Micah,
What?
did you get me a bowl? Yes.
Okay.
Oh, now you're going to like this. What you do here, take a bowl of this. And you could do all sorts of things with this. Man, you could roast yourself some pumpkin seeds and stick it on as a garnish, you know. That'd be wonderful.
You have time for those things?
Oh, yeah, if you've got time. We're in a hurry and we want to taste it. And what I do, come on over here, what I do, take a little bit of your cream and just go around like that.
Wow,
And,
then you know you're
and then
fancy.
you know you're oh my goodness. And let's just try. Micah, go get a spoon for yourself, son. Oh.
He approves.
I totally approve. What do you think?
Burn your tongue?
Worth it.
It's worth it. Wow. Here, Sarah, I'll record and you get
Okay.
some. Okay, here we go.
right.
Coming around. Let's see if you like it. Isn't that good?
It's very good.
You can freeze this. I couldn't, Susan and I couldn't eat all this. We ended up freezing a bunch of it. So when I get back home here, I'm gonna pull out, I did it in 2 or 3 different containers of normal, portion of what we eat. And we'll pull that out and have that. And I found the other day an idea of taking some of this and making, along with some kale, if you've got it, stripping the kale and all that, and then also some Italian sausage, and get yourself some lasagna noodles, and you could use this instead of marinara sauce and use it in place, with the
like
ricotta cheese and all
lasagna.
that, like a harvest lasagna.
There you go.
I can't wait to get home and try that. Put some dollops of that cream cheese, and what you probably want to do is make sure you actually use a good cheddar, because it gives it a little bit of a bite, a good sharp cheddar. What I do is I put this back in, those dollops back in the oven for another 7, 8, 10 minutes until that cream cheese is sort of melted down and gotten all gooey in there. And then that really is the dish. Once that's all melted in about 10 minutes, your dish is done. And you need to serve it warm. Now you can cover it after it cools down a little bit and then put it in the freezer or fridge, but then warm it up the next day. And then once it's warm, take some scallions and take the green part and a little bit of the white part, sprinkle that on before you serve. Sprinkle on some chopped bacon bits of what and not small little pieces, but good sized pieces around.
We cooked some bacon here, we're gonna chop it up.
Yeah. And then some dollops of sour cream. And then scoop that out and serve it. Oh my gosh, it's to die for. It really is. And because these been cooked in bacon grease and you got a little salt and pepper, it's just like,
it doesn't taste like cauliflower
no,
anymore.
man, it tastes like you laid out a baked potato, and it's just so good, so
can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't go wrong, and it's a great dish if you want to use it for like a Thanksgiving or something.
It looks good.
Yes, it is
smells
good.
Really good.
Oh my goodness! This is what you do, and it should be just beautifully cooked and delicious. Get that piece.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Oh my.
The thing I miss the most is potatoes, baked potatoes, mashed potatoes. This is good. This one's good. I gotta have
Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. And it takes the plate. I mean, it's a perfect side dish for, like you say, when you don't have potatoes.
Papa's teaching Micah how to do onions.
Yes. We're gonna make, for our next soup, we're gonna make a tomato soup. This came to me from my niece out in California, and she sort of taught me this one. Not sure where she got it from, but oh my goodness, it's wonderful tomato soup. It's a little bit different because what you do in this is you put in a little sugar, and we're gonna use that submersible, is that what you call it? Submersible?
Immersion.
Okay. I got one. I just
Could we use sugar substitute?
Let me show you.
Have you ever used a sugar substitute since tomatoes?
On this, I did once and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
Yep, sorry.
All right.
Sorry,
No
we're
problem.
not doing that here.
We're gonna get fat off of this one.
Yeah.
Mom, while you were gone,
Bring me
Dad
that
said
thing
that
on the
you don't help him as much as Micah does. I bet you do all the cleanup.
I don't help him.
Do you do
as
the
much
prep?
Because I don't like him telling me what to
There you go. We needed the other side
there
of the
you go.
story.
Now you got the truth out of that.
do. Because I've been cooking a lot longer
No,
than him.
yeah.
That's right. That's what I remember. When Dad cooked when I was growing up, he made great sandwiches and he made good eggs. Really good eggs.
Where's that scrape thing? Get the scrape.
What else did you make when we were kids?
Oh, I made grilled cheese sandwich. I made spaghetti.
You did?
Kitchen. Yeah, sure. Spaghetti's easy.
She says no.
First off, you slice from the front to the back about 3 times. See? Okay?
Okay.
Without cutting
Without
your fingers.
cutting your finger, and keep your finger up here or something like that is really what you should do. And down here, okay. Then what you do is you go in here and you come down and come down. And a little bit move over every time. So try that. See how you do. come on, man, you're a cook. Gee whiz.
Ow. Ow.
Here, let me do.
Ah.
You're supposed to put magic in it.
Oh, that you don't even need. You're not going to be here long. I bought a stick and a half of butter. That was a little pungent onion. Here, let's do this. I got the butter right here. I got the butter right here. So let's do this. Yeah, I got it right. Oh, that's a stick and a half. Yeah. Here, put this back in the fridge. Let me have that.
We're gonna saute those and we'll get back to you. Okay, meal number 3 here.
Hey, we're doing this tomato soup. We've sauteed our onions, got them translucent. I'm adding 4 cans of diced tomato right now. And then we're going to, pour them in. And then we're going to be adding not just 1 can or jug of 46 ounces of tomato juice, but we're actually going to add 2 of these. Because we're doubling our recipe. Boy, that's dangerous there as all get out. All right. Now, what happens after this is a little post-critical, and I want to tell you about it. Because of the acidity that's in the tomatoes, you want to cut that down a little bit, or else everybody be eating this and having heartburn 30 minutes after they're done. And the easiest way to cut this down is by using sugar. The recipe calls for 3 to 6 tablespoons of sugar on 1 recipe. Well, I have never done that much, not 6.
Oh.
I would encourage you to put in 3 per recipe, and we're going to do maybe 6 now just because of a double recipe.
Micah, get him a tablespoon, please.
But then we're going to taste it, because to be honest with you, doing 6, way too sugary, way too. I don't like it. And most people won't. I think maybe your little kids, Sarah, might, but we're not worried about them so much. Because this sugar would be like candy, for goodness sake.
You got Micah hopping around here.
Yeah, you got to hop with it when you pop this here. Okay, 3 tablespoons, and then we're going to put probably a few more, and then we're going to taste it and test it a little bit. We're going to see if it's...
Do you like tomato soup, Micah?
Yes.
And this gets all pureed in a second. Put 1 more in. And stir that around in there really good, would you please? I'm going to make it a little soupier. I'm just going to add some chicken broth is all I'm going to do. Again, you're wanting to give it a little bit of a chicken taste and all, and I mean, you got to get the flavor out. That's the best way to say it. Quite a bit of fresh ground pepper. I love fresh ground pepper and just about everything. And we're going to then, once we get this added, we're going to stir it, combine it up real good, and then we're going to bring this pot to a boil.
Oh, did you see Mommy? Did you see Mommy? Hi.
Okay, we got everything on the soup now boiled. It brought it up to a boil. Here's the secret ingredient. You can leave it out if you want or put it in. I love the taste that it does in. You put in, for each recipe you're doing, 1 cup of sherry. And we're going to stir that in. And then we're also going to do about 1.5 cups of heavy cream before we emulsify everything. So I'm doing 2 cups of sherry in here as it continues to sort of simmer down a little bit. We're also going to then put in about 1.5 cups of cream per recipe, or close to 3. I may not do all 3, but I'm going to get close. We're going to put that in. 1, 2, let's just do it. 3. And then we're going to do and use the submergible
Immersion blender.
Immersion blender. I can't, I don't know what they do. Again, we're hoping that we don't lift up just by accident and have red tomato sauce all over everything. So there we go. We're going to start that. Yeah. And we really want a nice creamy soup again. You could not have to do this and just leave it with the chunks, and some people do that. I don't like it that way, so I'm going to do it the way that I enjoy it. And as you can see, this made enough for this family for half a meal. I'm going to try, make sure everything is running right. Oh, is that ever good? Just wonderful. Now, the only other thing that I put in at the last, quarter cup, maybe almost a half a cup here of parsley, a quarter cup of basil. You could do more. I'm only putting in what one recipe calls for, which is a quarter cup each. And I don't want to overdo it for them because they may or may not, the little ones may or may not like that, but just stir that in and get that all blended in, and it just makes a beautiful looking soup.
It's like, I want some of that soup. Very good. Can I try some? Oh, you taste the sherry in it. And
It's just a beautiful blend of flavor, and it's not too sweet.
yeah. Oh, that's good.
Isn't that good?
That is good.
Right
No, I
here.
don't want any.
Here,
But look,
Micah,
she has
get a little bite.
like hair covering her eyes.
Like grilled cheese sandwiches.
Do you like soup?
Did you make
She's like,
Do you like it?
Okay, now this, I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm using Ina Garten's recipe on this. It's a wonderful, she calls it the ultimate grilled cheese sandwich. 1 cup of mayonnaise, quarter cup of Dijon mustard, a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese, and quite a bit of cracked pepper. Now, I doubled everything because I've got a lot of mouths to feed here tonight. But what I did too, I stopped in, we didn't have any fresh bread bakeries open today, and normally that's what I would suggest to you, a nice fresh sourdough or something like that, something from a bakery. But again, this is going to be pretty good, and I did have the kids pick up for me some sourdough bread that's been baked, and I'm not sure how long, but it's going to work out just really great. So what we're going to do, we're going to cover this bread with butter on one side because we're going to grill it. And by the way, this really works well if you have yourself a press, a little hot press, but or panini press or something like that, but we don't have that. We're also going to use, and I probably should have had them get 2 of these, but it'll be okay. We're going to use some Gruyere. Gruyere with anything is wonderful. And we're going to use this along with some cheddar and some Parmesan in making these wonderful grilled cheese sandwiches along with the tomato soup, and that's going to be our dinner tonight.
Desi, are you hungry? I would say grilled cheese would go great with the harvest soup or with the tomato soup. Both excellent additions. Not so keto friendly, but very good. Are you just giving me a hug? Just a random hug?
Then I can. Bacon and butter.
She's trying to keep the troops happy.
And then, watch, you put a bunch, pile it right up.
That's it.
Gruyere and the cheddar.
And sharp cheddar.
Yeah.
We got some sharp cheddar. I sent Judah to the store.
Pile it up, good. And then, I need more bread. Come here, Micah. Micah, come on, man. Open me up some bread. Get it in all the corners. If you had a press, this is where the press really comes in great. But if you don't, no big deal. And then just take it and let's put it over on the.
Do you have a press at home?
I don't,
Oh.
but I'm saying it makes it better.
Now I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah.
That's how I got fat. Here's got a press.
Grilled cheese sandwiches every night. You could cook your hamburgers on hamburger patties.
That is so good. No keto here, but
All keto except the bread.
Yeah.
Not even that sourdough.
that's right.
What do you guys think?
You like it?
Thumbs up?
The soup
So good.
The soup? You don't like the soup? It's good. Who loves the soup?
Which one are you doing? Tomato?
Sophisticated palates. Yeah. Okay, we have not made every meal yet. We're gonna put pause on this one and we are gonna come back tomorrow and cook. You'll see part 2 of our winter fall recipes coming very soon and they're gonna be good. We have 3 more recipes and one of them's a dessert and they're good. They're good. You won't wanna miss them. Thank you guys for watching today. Thanks Papa for cooking dinner.
You're welcome.
He's focused on the rest of them. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.